Dada are a band? Well, actually, Dada is Matt Johnson. He's the band. Confused? Thought so. Recently, we met Matt at the Wax Museum in Dublin. Why was he there? I've absolutely no idea, but here goes.
Now, even though you made an album, over, what is it now, 3 years ago, it's only recently that you've come into the limelight.
Well, it was manipulation as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I knew I wanted to take a long time out of it anyway. And ever since I've done music, which is from about the age of 11 or 12, I've gone through periods where I've of great activity followed by prolonged periods of inactivity where I've just been gathering my thoughts. And after Soul Mine, I just wanted to rethink everything. And this whole campaign has been very carefully thought out, a real conscious effort to raise my profile, because before, even though I don't have my picture on any of the sleeves, before the profile was so low because I wasn't doing any videos, any gigs, not very many interviews or anything. It was almost invisible, and the album actually sold quite well off its own back, off its own merits, musically. But this time around, I just wanted to raise the profile a bit.
Did it upset you to think that perhaps if you'd been more high profile then, that the album perhaps would have done better than it did?
Not really, because I actually feel better prepared this time around to accept things. I've got more to say. I know really what I'm doing. I'm more in control of the situation. If it had been too successful then, I think it probably would have been a bit too much to handle. And as it turned out, it was very successful, really, on its own terms. But no, because if it had been that successful, I probably wouldn't have taken that amount of a break off. I wouldn't have rethought things. So I'm pleased with the way things have gone. I'm quite philosophical about everything anyway. Any success or failures, which I think you've got to be. Well, you've just got to look on the positive side of things all the time.
Do you see it all as a plan? All
yeah, I do, actually, yeah. And this video album plan was something which actually did have ideas about a long time ago. It's something that I always wanted to do, because I've been doing quite a lot of interviews lately, and several of the journalists have actually said, before they did the new interviews with me, they read back the old interviews, listened to the tapes, and I was talking about getting involved in videos in a big way like 3.5 years ago, and it's actually all come true.
But the fact that you are on a major label does actually help you.
Yeah, it does, just getting the actual financing. I mean, with a company like CBS, it takes a while to get their hands out of their pockets, really, you know, because it's such a big company. And they sign so many new bands up that they want to be sure that, you know, they've got some kind of future with you or whatever. But it's also due to a bit of bullying by my manager to get them to pay for it, because obviously if it was up to them, they probably would have said, oh, no, but it took quite a bit of hassling to get the backing, and now they're very pleased that they did, I think.
The good thing about that, of course, is that when they do eventually take their hands out of their pockets, there's quite a lot of money to spend on you.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. They have got, I mean, that's the reason, really, that I signed to a major company. It was for them to sign cheques. It wasn't for any artistic input that they could give me, really, without being, with all due respect. But it was for them to back me and to sign cheques, really, because, you know, I mean, you'd be as well being on an independent unless they're going to do that. And they've now started to do that, and it's starting to tell, I think, because they've given me the backing to make the kind of record I wanted to make, which incorporated using a lot of musicians and making these films. So that is the advantages of being on a major company. If they're not going to do that, you'd be as well be on a independent company.
When you did bring the new album, Infected, to them, what if they hadn't liked it? What would have happened then?
I would have said tough, you know, that's it. You know, ultimately, I'd work to please myself, not even to please my audience or anybody. I don't think that you should have in mind and worry about what people are going to say about what you're doing, because that's going to then influence your way of thinking. If you start thinking, well, what did I do right? You know, if you've got a successful record and you start worrying about what you did right, you just get on and follow your instincts. If they hadn't have liked it, then it's tough.